Welcome to another benefit of the Doud Review. Today we are joined by the head reviewer of this particular content, Mr. Cliff Thomas. Cliff, how you doing this evening?
I'm feeling a little under the weather, but you know what? I'm excited to review extreme things.
You know what? Everybody's always under the weather. That's how weather works.
Yeah,
If
that's
you were
true.
above the weather, you'd be flying, which I will be doing tomorrow. So why don't we go ahead and just get to the
What a
review?
what a segue.
I know, right? Well, actually, that's not a great segue at all because then we want to talk
It's a
about
dead
like
end.
where we're
Shoot.
going, and yeah, it's a
It's a
dead end
segue to a dead
segue.
end.
That's a
Rerouting.
side mission. Um,
Rerouting.
is what that is. But anyway, so yeah, we are here to talk about extreme things, and you are extremely happy to be talking about the Lenovo Tab Extreme. I saw this device at CES, which was, I don't know, I think 6 years ago at this point.
It feels
Um,
like it.
yes, this year has been just dragging by. But we'll talk about that in December. So I
Sorry.
saw that
Ugh.
back at CES, and I don't even know what you're talking about there. We saw that back at CES, and it was extreme back then, and it is still extreme. And the reason you got this is because of your artistic
That's right.
tendencies. So let's talk about this iPad Pro killer, the Lenovo Tab Pro Extreme.
Lenovo Tab Extreme.
Tab
So,
Extreme, not Pro Extreme, but yeah,
I mean, you could mix meta, name. I mean,
it's a
this,
it's a
the name
Lenovo Tab Pro Extreme Ultra.
exactly.
But
Mark II.
Mark II. So,
No, I think.
beta.
I mean, if you look at, first of all, we're talking about a tablet that, in both price and I guess in some ways specs, plays in the same ballpark as a Apple iPad Pro.
Okay.
I guess price wise, more like the 11-inch, but it is actually larger than even the largest of the iPad Pros, the 12.9, because this,
Yeah.
like Samsung's, what is it? Something you've actually reviewed. It's the
Tab
Tab
S9 Ultra.
Ultra, right? So this also has a name for full of hyperbole, and it's 14.5 inches as far as the
Jesus.
screen is concerned.
Which is convenient if you need to carry around your own boat ramp.
It is also makes
Yes.
I'm sure a great like little mini surfboard
Charcuterie
or
board,
skateboard.
perhaps?
Yeah, things like that. Yes, it is huge. You will see it once we switch to the on screen.
Yes.
But yes, and I mean in terms of build quality, um, it's right up there with something that Apple makes, which to me is it's not easy to do. But I think
No, yeah.
every single tablet I have had my hands on from Lenovo, even down to like the M series, which are their media ones that are more in like that $250 range, are still built like a tank. And
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
has that same build quality, but of course elevated, which of course you would expect it to be because it stickers at $1,099.
Right.
But
Right. And I'm going to go ahead and co-sign that build quality comment about the Lenovo tablets because we've reviewed a few of them on this show,
we
and they have
have
all been like you could do some damage with those things if you had to.
absolutely. I mean, all
Yeah.
metal. I mean, metal chassis. They're built to last, which is good if you're depending on what tablet you're talking about, if you're giving it to a kid or something like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. Not so good if you need to rage quit a game and
it's
you have
true.
drywall walls,
It's true.
but yeah, otherwise, yeah, pretty good.
So let's go ahead and talk about the specs before I
Mhm.
actually switch over, because I'm gonna have to rotate around on my stool, kind of get my microphone situated, and we'll look at the actual hardware itself and some of the software things. So as I said, stickers at $1,099, currently
Mhm.
on sale on Lenovo's site for $1,000. Now
Okay.
that is a lot of money for any tablet. I don't care, whether it's an Android tablet or an Apple tablet or a Chrome OS based tablet or something else.
Mhm.
But contrary to what Apple includes, which is just, I guess, does it even include a charger in the box anymore with the iPad Pro? I don't
I
know.
don't believe so, but yeah, I just went ahead and threw the
Yeah, let's look at the
GSM
specs
Arena
here.
specs up on here, just
But
because
it
why
is
not?
so it does include the keyboard stand, which is very similar to the design that Apple has with their Pro keyboard stand, whatever the name is for it,
Right.
as well as the stylus in the box. So that's all included for that $1,000 as it's priced right now. So as you can see on the screen here, you've got a 14.5-inch screen. It is an OLED screen. It's absolutely gorgeous. I believe that is like 2K, or what is that? Ultra HD?
Something like that. Yeah,
It's higher than full HD, I can tell you that.
yes, I've never been great at translating
I know.
resolution to the letter, whatever you call it, the
Right, yeah.
abbreviation or whatever.
I mean,
It
FHD
yeah,
is easy to remember because it's full HD, right? Like that's
right, exactly.
right. So, MediaTek Dimensity 9000, which
Mhm.
is, if I remember it, as far as the benchmarks, it's pretty similar to like a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, not the Plus, but the Gen
Yeah, I was
1.
gonna say, yeah, that's I believe that's the MediaTek's last generation
Right.
flagship processor
Yeah, I
because
think
they're
it's
at the 92.
9100 or something like that
It was
now.
91, 92, somewhere
Something
in
like
that
that.
neighborhood.
But,
Before
sure.
we skip past the screen, I did want to point out 120 hertz
20 hertz
refresh rate,
refresh rate. Yes.
which
And
is yeah,
again, matching in some respect, like spec for spec for what you would get with an iPad Pro, but it is an
ProRes.
absolutely
Yes, yeah.
exactly. So
Hmm.
beautiful screen as you'll see on camera in a bit.
Yep.
So I would call these, like, in terms of, if you were equating it to a smartphone, like high mid range. Most of the time when you see a Dimensity 9000, it's in a phone that
Hmm.
costs around $699, $799, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um, and this would, if it had the radios for it, actually support 5G, because that is a 5G um,
Processor
class of system on a
class.
chip,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. And something else that it includes that, to my knowledge, not even Samsung's competition with the Ultra, is that it has expandable storage, which is cool. I don't think
I'm
Samsung does include it.
trying. I think it. I want to say it does. In
Oh,
fact,
does it? Well, Apple certainly doesn't, but they never have, so that's not really a surprise.
yeah.
12,300 milliamp hour battery. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you can fit a pretty big battery in a tablet that is as big as
It
this
is
does.
14.5 inches.
Right.
Yes.
But
Um.
eight speakers, it says, which, yeah, the sound on this thing is awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Great.
so that's going over the specs of it. And
Hmm.
so it's the things that you would expect in a high-end tablet. It does
Right.
support 68 watt fast charging
Wired
too,
charging. Yep.
which it does charge very fast, and it does come with, when you get it's got a pretty substantial charging brick and a thick USB-C to USB-C, or yeah, I
Okay.
think it's USB-C to USB-C charging cable
Okay.
included in the box. So, I mean, it's a 12,000 plus milliamp hour battery, so it does take a while to charge, but
Sure.
68
Sure.
watts is not bad. And in everyday use, I mean, it's a very speedy tablet, especially with that 120 hertz refresh rate on the screen. So, with
Hmm.
that said, we want to go ahead and switch over to Slappy, the review
Okay.
cam, or did you have any other questions that you wanted to go through?
No, the only other thing I was thinking about doing was putting up the official Lenovo page to show off some
Sure,
pictures, but why don't we just show
sure.
off a tablet? That
Yeah,
works.
absolutely. So, give me a second to transform. I'm gonna spin like Wonder Woman or something, and
Okay.
spin around.
Wonder
And
Woman. Yeah, so here's the picture. You can see this magic keyboard type keyboard here with the pen sitting down at the bottom there, and then we can scroll through the pictures here while Cliff does his microphone magic. It's less than 6 millimeters thick, which is also pretty awesome.
it is.
Um,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can.
All
Yeah.
right, just making sure I got my microphone. Oh, come on, microphone, cooperate with me here. Well, you
We
know
need
what?
to open up. We need to open up Slappy here, don't we? Are we ready
Okay,
to open? Are we ready to
just
to use
just about,
Slappy?
just about.
Oh,
Oh,
except, yep. No, I got it. I got it. We're good. We're good. That's our screw up for the show.
yeah, that's
Um,
the first one. I'm hoping.
but
Can you hear me all right if this
yeah,
microphone's facing this way? Okay,
yeah,
because
absolutely.
it does not want to rotate towards my mouth. So
Okay.
we're just gonna hope I sound all right. Maybe I'll just talk a little louder. Okay, so
Okay. So
can
let's
you?
go ahead and
I can't see what
kill
you're looking
that.
at. So
Yep, we've got Slappy up here. In fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and switch on over to. No, that's not it. How do we do that? Let me try. moving stuff around here. There we go. All right. So
Ah,
we are full on slappy here.
so all right, sounds good. And this is actually the first time I have used my new setup or my revised setup for
Yeah.
reviewing devices here in the new office. I'm kind of excited about that, and you can actually, you can see my little lights and stuff behind there. So
Hell's
what you
yeah.
have, what you have in front of you is the Lenovo Tab Extreme on its stand. I'm going to go ahead and
Hmm.
it's got a fingerprint reader on this side, so I just touched that
Okay.
and
Is that
woke it
like
up.
integrated with a power button, or is that
Yes,
underneath the screen? Okay.
yes, that is. It is not underneath the screen, which honestly I'm happy with because I think it's actually a little easier to access if you're using this as like for media consumption and you don't have it on the stand. But
Yeah.
the first thing I
Yeah.
wanted to show you is that with it on the stand, it's actually very similar to like what Apple does,
With the
where it
Magic
kind of
Keyboard. Yeah.
floats there with the Magic Keyboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it does come with a stylus, which I actually have on the back here on this little dedicated. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's like a little
Okay.
squircle where it
Yeah. Yeah.
charges.
Yeah. Okay.
And that also, when you put it there, not only does it charge it, but it also connects it automatically via Bluetooth. But you also have another place to put it
Mm-hmm.
once it's charged. Or I think right now it's at like 100%. Well,
Okay.
that was not a
That's
demonstration.
not where we wanted that to go.
Snap
Does
on.
it attach to the bottom of the
Yeah,
tablet?
it's got a little magnet down there. It's just not doing it for me. Come on,
Maybe
YouTube.
turn the
Aha! There we
facing.
go.
There you go. Yeah. So
So
yeah, those ones that are on the edge of the tablet, they're always a little dodgy. Like even the one on the iPad Mini is
I'm
can be a
also
little.
kind of doing it from the side, so it's a little harder to see. But you can see it's got a full size keyboard. Well,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
full
Yeah.
size keyboard minus. Let's I'd say like the side. This
Minus
is
the
a 14 and a
number pad.
half inch screen, so the same as a laptop with a
Yeah. Yeah.
relatively small
Exactly.
touchpad. But what I like about this is if you have uh, the Lenovo stylus down there, you can fold it down,
Mm.
and it sits down there in its little pocket,
Okay.
which
Cool.
is kind of cool. So before I go into the software, I'm just going to kind of try to give you a little hardware tour.
Yeah.
So as I said, I do have it mounted on the stand right now. I'm going to take the stylus off, set it to the side, and we're going to
Okay.
fold that down. And what it
All right.
comes with that I think is really cool is,
Oh, I see.
yeah,
Okay.
I cleaned this up earlier, but this is because it's got the glass portion up here
Yeah.
for radios and things like that. It's very smudge prone, but you can see this is a very thin tablet.
Very thin, very handsome. I like it.
Yes, it is very like rectilinear. It actually has like it definitely gives me other than the aspect ratio like iPad Pro vibes with the rounded corners and the
Mm-hmm.
slab sides. But
Yeah,
this is a
definitely.
cool little accessory that mounts even when you have it on the keyboard stand. You just
Yeah,
take
I
it out.
forgot about that.
It's
It
really
sticks on
cool.
the back there,
Yeah, let me just there you go. And
and
then you
then
just kickstand
that
it.
yeah, that becomes its own kickstand, and then
Right.
you can actually leave that attached and then stick that to the Magic Keyboard, which it's not the
Exactly.
Magic Keyboard, but we're going to call it the Magic Keyboard. What do they actually call that
That's a good
keyboard?
question. I have no idea. It's just Lenovo's Magic Keyboard thing. And
Yeah.
you can see on the stand itself how you can adjust the angle now that I don't have the tablet on there. And then it
Yeah.
has pogo pins and a
Mhm.
magnet that allows it to just snap on there.
One thing
But
I feel like I should point out is according to Lenovo's website, it says the picture is shown with an optional keyboard available. So you got the keyboard, but you may have to buy the keyboard separately, I
so right
think.
now on their website, if you actually go to the purchase site,
Oh, okay.
it says that the keyboard and the stylus are included in the purchase price, which, like I said earlier, right now is $1,000. So that may not
Right.
always be the case, but at least for now,
Yeah.
that's how they're including it. And honestly, I mean, if you're spending this much on a tablet, especially, I mean, the Dimensity 9000 is like a semi close to flagship processor. But if you're talking
Mhm.
about $1,000, I mean, you're in flagship smartphone money and iPad Pro money. It should really include these accessories at
You're
that
in
price.
laptop money.
I mean, like nice laptop money, like MacBook
Yeah.
Air.
Yeah.
Uh, so here's the thing. So I've
Yeah.
got it on here. This is a 16 by 10 screen, which is different than Apple's 3:4 ratio that it does for its
Right.
tablets. Now, that's not a bad thing necessarily, especially if you're talking about productivity. Not so great if you want to have it go in portrait mode, right?
Okay,
It's
yeah, it's a little stockish.
it's just a little tall. But I mean, you have the same issue with, some Windows 2-in-1s. It's just a compromise that you make. For viewing video and stuff like that, I guess we can show video here, right?
Sure. I mean,
Why not?
maybe
Maybe
turn the volume down
transmission.
so we don't get like copyright struck. But
Well, you know what? We'll just do our own stuff, right?
yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So let's see.
We can copyright our own stuff. That's easy. Although it would be really hilarious if we actually got
Copyright struck by
playing
ourselves.
our own stuff.
So
Yeah, that's a good song. I like
it's
that.
an awesome song, but I'm gonna go ahead and scrub here a little bit. And this is not HD or anything like that, so maybe in some respects,
Hello and welcome to another
viewing angles I think are pretty darn awesome, which you would expect.
Yeah.
I'm your host.
For
Oh, yeah.
an OLED screen, you would expect that. So my point,
Doud,
you better stop playing. There we go. All right, you go away. But if you'd
YouTube
like to watch
Premium.
that video, you can check it out later.
Yes, we'll put a link to that in the show notes or whatever they call it in the description below. See we're still stuck on the podcast parlance. We need to
I
really
know we need to move to when
the
you've been doing
YouTube stuff.
something for such a long time, sometimes it's
Yeah.
hard to. But so I feel like, and I think I think that Lenovo really markets this as a productivity oriented.
Oh, you'd have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And it just detected that I put it back on its little keyboard stand.
Okay, I heard that little chime there. That was
That's exactly what it was. So here I've
just
got the
to let you
stylus.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So on the keyboard, it has some shortcuts which are pretty cool, much like a laptop, in that you've got your caps lock and things like that, your volume controls, and then, but there are shortcuts to allow you to split screen.
Okay.
So let me. Oh, you know what? It just switched to desktop mode. That's funny.
Okay.
But anyway, there are ways. Let's just see here. Let's just do Gmail. What is going on here? I just did something and I don't know what I did. Let me take you back off of this. This keyboard is disconnected. Do you want to exit PC mode? Exit. Okay. I have not used it in PC mode. So that's interesting. Oh, Lenovo, you've got all sorts of little surprises for me, huh? All right. No, it went back to PC mode. I wonder if that's something that they've introduced recently with a software update, because it's never done that to me before.
Okay.
Well, this is good TV.
It is. It's
So now
fascinating.
Fascinating. So I've got my stylus here, and let's see. But it does allow you to do split screen apps, which is really nice. And what I was trying to demonstrate was, oh, here we go. Okay. That's why. So I just pressed a shortcut on the keyboard.
Okay.
That sent it. Oh, that's why it was okay. PC mode. Now I understand. I was hitting the wrong button. This is great. This is great TV.
Yeah, no. We're crackerjack reviewers here. I mean, we do our homework. Yeah.
So I've just got Gmail open here just to show you. Now I've got, there's YouTube.
Okay.
2 separate apps, which is really nice. And then another keyboard shortcut if you want to move back to full screen, or vice versa, which is really nice. So if you're someone like me that is really into keyboard shortcuts, this is really nice. And I believe you can actually see, I'm almost positive you can do to set keyboard short, like pairs of apps, kind of like you can do with a foldable.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you can set up like a permanent multitasking card, basically.
Exactly.
So like when you reopen it, it'll open up both of those things. Yeah, gestures on Lenovo tablets tend to be punchy.
It's very true. That's something, and especially with something like this, that's I think, again, marketed towards productivity.
Right.
It's definitely handy to have. Now I'm going to take the stylus here and I'm going to stick it on the back, and it should pop up and say, "Oh, I found you." Yep.
Hello.
Precision 3 3, 100% battery life. So it sticks on the back when you're not using it. And then I believe this has let me see here. Yep, backlit keyboard. That was the other thing I wanted to show you.
Okay.
So just like most laptops that you're familiar with, or at least with Lenovo laptops, like a ThinkPad, it has the function key, and then it's got the little glyph on the space bar that allows you to cycle through the different brightness levels.
Okay.
And then the feel of the keyboard, I actually think especially for you, Adam, I think you would really like this keyboard. As
Oh,
far
yeah?
as it's
The
that really
chiclet style
precise chiclet clicky, but
with
not much
minimal travel.
minimal travel. Exactly.
Oh, you're talking dirty to me. I like it.
Oh. And as far as the build of Android, this is Lenovo's flavor. Please come up for me. I'll just do this then. Okay. Work
You know
for
what?
me.
Lenovo pushed out some kind of software update to its tablets because actually, now that I think about it, I've got the 13-inch. I don't remember what I think it's a. I want to say it's a yoga tablet, but I use it primarily just for like watching stuff, and it recently like a lot of the UI changed.
Right.
Like it pushed off the three button navigation over to the one side, and like
That's
the
what I'm
notification.
seeing here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the
And you know what it
notification
is?
shade is only on the right-hand side now. Yeah,
It,
Lenovo pushed out an update, I want to say, in the last couple of weeks.
yes,
So,
because
yeah.
I did get an update in the last couple of weeks, and they obviously have updated this, and it had not switched to that mode until because I have not had this off of the keyboard case.
Right.
And so when I did that and then I put it back on, I went, new UI.
Hello.
That's great. Thanks for that, Lenovo. Right when I'm trying to do a
Yeah.
product demonstration, that's just fantastic. And I'm just here in settings. But what I wanted
Right.
to show you was I
Your
believe it's
email
called,
address. I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
it's fantastic. Oh, that's okay. I'm the same place, the same thing everywhere. But I was trying. Oh, there it is. ZUI version 15.000, whatever it is, and it's running
Right.
Android 13. Now,
Yeah.
I've actually received. So I received this actually back towards the end of June, and we're
Mhm.
just now getting around to review it. And thank you for Lenovo to sending this to us. This was
Yes.
definitely after CES, one of my more highly anticipated devices in terms
Yeah.
of I've got to try that out
Mhm.
because honestly, with a screen this big and with the access to media that you have from the Play Store, I mean, you honestly could use this as a TV if you need to.
Oh, yeah.
I know that you guys in your house don't even use your TV anymore. That you guys are always consuming on devices like this.
Oh,
So.
yeah. Well, like I said, I've got the 13-inch tablet upstairs that I use for like watching stuff.
Oh, I know
while we
exactly
eat. Yeah.
I know exactly which one you're talking about now. So then
Uh-huh.
there's the
I
yeah,
can't
that's
remember the
because
name
it,
of
it
it.
used to be a
We
swipe
reviewed
up.
it on this channel, I
We
think.
sure did.
But
It
that was
used to,
back in the podcast days. Sorry, I'm cutting you off.
no, it's fine. I was just gonna say this used to be. Oh, now it's got an exit button. Yeah, this used to be a swipe up from the bottom to get to the apps, and now it's got a vertical. Oh, good. Well, now it's more like Samsung, for
Yeah.
better or worse.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. This is what I was talking
There's
about.
your
Okay.
gestures.
I think it went to a desktop mode. That's what it was,
Ah,
or the
okay.
PC mode. That's what it was calling it. So this is more similar to what I'm used to. And then
Yeah.
it's now in the software and this is something that you can turn on and off. But instead of having Google's, what do they call it now? It's been called about
The Google
8,000.
feed.
The
Yeah.
Google
I think is
feed,
what it's
whatever
called.
it's. I think it's the Discover panel.
Yeah,
Instead
something like
of
that.
that, it actually includes something that's very similar to Google TV. And what I
Yeah, like
mean
an
by this is
entertainment panel thing.
exactly
Yeah.
entertainment hub. So you can see and this is all stuff that I have installed, whether it's Twitch,
Right.
Disney Plus.
You need to watch
What
that
it,
Dark Knight Rises because that's a hell of a movie.
yeah, I've never seen that before. I'm kidding. But so yeah, it aggregates all of based on the content that you have. It aggregates it all into a panel, which I think is actually really smart for a tablet.
Oh,
Now, I
yeah,
don't know.
definitely.
It,
Like leaning into your strengths there, Lenovo.
well, true. And I'm not
Yeah.
sure if this is like a new Google thing or if it's a Lenovo thing. And the reason I say that, I think it's a Lenovo thing, but if you look up here, and it's probably hard to see on camera, but it says entertainment space. But the
Yeah.
logo has those primary colors like a Google logo.
Okay.
Very similar to like Google TV.
Google TV. Yeah.
Right. And so it's really hard to tell without, deep diving in it to figure out if this is something from Lenovo or something from Google, because I know that Google has really been pushing, tablets again after so long where it just kind of abandoned them, so much so that
Right.
it introduced the Pixel tablet.
Right.
So this is for me. I mean, I know you said that I was reviewing this rather than somebody else because of the art stuff, but honestly, I find I like more of consuming media. I like having the stylus. for even doing things like editing video. You can see I actually bought LumaFusion
Okay.
to edit video. I haven't done any yet, but that's the idea anyway.
Right.
For on a screen size like this, I think it's ideal. And with the stylus, you're able to kind of
They
dive in
get
a
the
little bit more.
precision movements.
Compared
Yeah.
to, exactly, compared to something like this tiny little touchpad down here, which
Yeah.
works fine for most things, but this certainly
Sure.
adds to what you can do with it in terms of precision, just like the name of the
Yeah.
stylus.
So
yeah.
let's wrap up some final thoughts here because
Sure.
we're starting to get a little long. So what do we think
Well, here's
about
the
this
thing.
as a whole?
I love the package. I like I said, I was very excited to review it. I have like some larger thoughts there, right? So when you have a tablet that's this large, right? Like when I say large, I mean like of the space, like the purposing of it. I almost wonder if it would be better served running Chrome OS.
Okay, I see where you're going with that.
Right. The reason I say that is Chrome OS has a tablet mode and has a full desktop browser. And so when you have a screen that's this size, and the fact that Chrome OS has access to the Play Store, I feel like for productivity, which I feel like this tablet really is
It would
geared
make more
towards,
sense.
it
Yeah.
makes more sense to me, because otherwise you're dealing with a lot of Lenovo's customizations on top of it, as far as Android is concerned and the software. And Lenovo, at least for their tablets, doesn't have the best record as far as updating it is concerned. So, if it were me, in an ideal world, I would love to be able to install Chrome OS on it, especially because it will run on ARM-based processors. I mean, a lot of the tablets that and laptops that are sold now with Chrome OS on them are running MediaTek processors. So
right.
that's just a thought. However, I feel like if this were priced and more at like $799, I would feel like it's a better buy, and
Okay.
still including the keyboard and the stylus.
The stylus. Yeah.
Because this is a great device for so many things, and even with the keyboard attachment on there,
It's
I mean,
thin.
it's still
Yeah.
really thin. It's not super light, but it's definitely as light as a thin and light laptop, if not lighter.
Oh, I'm sure it
And
is. Yeah.
especially for the size of the screen. And so
Definitely.
it has a lot of great things going for it. One thing I did want to mention real quickly, and this is something we just glossed over, but the front-facing camera on it, the one that you would actually use for like a zoom camera or something like that, is much better than a lot of laptops I've used. So again, for those productivity, that was one of those things that was in the corner of my mind. Like, I need to say that during the review. But yeah,
right.
But considering the fact that it's got the Dimensity 9000, which is not a slouch, but it's not a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 or an 8 Gen 2 like what is included in Samsung's hardware for the same money. Yeah. I feel like this would be better served around the the $699, $799 price point. Other than that, I love this tablet, and I wish I could hold on to it.
Right. Yeah. So, well, I mean, and that's good. I mean, and one of the
I'm gonna go ahead and while you're finishing your thoughts there, I'm gonna spin back around.
Yep, spinny. Let me go ahead and switchy there, and we're gonna move you up to there, and then let's go ahead and turn off Slappy. But so, I mean, I think Samsung and Lenovo are the two of them. I don't want to say single-handedly, but dual-handedly, I guess, holding down the fort when it comes to like Android tablets.
Absolutely.
There are Android tablets that are out there that will do basic content consumption things, basically like Kindles and whatnot. But like when it comes to like a true productivity tablet, Lenovo and Samsung are really trying to define that space,
especially in this size of device. I mean, there's really nothing else like they're out that, at least in our market.
Right. And I'm almost kind of curious to see like what a smaller size tablet would do, just because, then you get like the compact nature of it. Because I know one thing about the Tab S9 Ultra is I cannot put it into a shoulder bag because it's a little bit too big to go into the shoulder bag that I have. I have to use a full-on backpack.
I would say the same. I mean, this is a 14.5-inch screen, so you're basically in 15-inch, 14 to 15-inch laptop territory.
Yeah, you're in MacBook Air territory, basically.
Right. Actually, one thing I should mention, though, that is pretty nice about this, and I'm sure this can be done with other tablets as well, but you can use this as a target display.
Okay.
It's called, I think it's Lenovo Freeform or Lenovo Freestyle. It's an app that you have to install on your Windows PC.
Right.
And once you do that, you can, which is nice. So, I actually have a 15.6-inch display that I carry around with me in case I want to do something where the productivity is helped by having multiple displays. But
sure,
if I had this tablet, it's really not that much. In fact, I think it's a little smaller and maybe just a little heavier. But that way, I'd actually have two things, and I can eliminate one thing from my luggage, from my backpack. So, one other small thing. Yeah. So, I have not seen one of these in the wild. I think the availability on them has been kind of low. I mean, it took us a while just to get a review unit, because I know that everybody's trying to get their hands on a review unit, and there just weren't that many of them. So
yeah. So, but like, just in general, it's good to know that there are companies that are holding down this space, and it's good to know that there's more than one company that's holding down the
absolutely.
space. So, but yeah, so that is the Lenovo Tab Extreme. There will be a link to pick one up in the show notes if you want to check it out. But otherwise, I think that's going to. About wrap it up. Any final thoughts before we close up shop on this guy?
No, it was an interesting experience to use an Android tablet again, because I hadn't in years, and honestly, it's a way better experience than it used to be. I mean, you can tell that Google has done some hard work in trying to make it better. And honestly, I mean, it still is on the developers to optimize their apps for the screen size, because the basic software experience, and especially with Lenovo's stuff on top of it, really made it really nice to use.
Yeah, 100%. So, well, with that said, that is going to do it for this episode of the podcast. Please consider subscribing to this podcast if you enjoyed it. And if you really enjoyed it, I would love it if you would write a review for the podcast, hit subscribe, and smash that bell on the YouTube channel, and comment down below. Are you interested in picking up a powerful Android tablet, or are you looking more for a Netflix?
Netflix, yes.
Box. If you do click on that subscribe button and smash that bell, you'll be notified of new episodes and reviews as they drop. And if you want some early access, got a new patron this month, jump onto Patreon, patreon.com/benefit of the Doud. I'd like to thank co-host Cliff for all of his hard work behind the scenes and for walking us through the Lenovo Tab Extreme. But most of all, and as always, I would like to thank you for listening and for giving us the benefit of the Doud.